What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the CFE podcast. Beck, what a great weekend for Nebraska to have their bye week last week because college football was so good last week. It was so much fun. So let's get into it. Let's recap a little bit from last week and let's start on Friday night when possibly the biggest chaos ensued of the weekend.
Yeah, I definitely picked a bad Friday to be out camping, but watching a lot of these highlights back, absolutely insane. So, starting with the big one, the big upset of the week, Florida State going to Virginia and losing in double overtime. This game was just pure chaos. Back and forth, both teams with 3 turnovers, both quarterbacks running for multiple touchdowns, and probably the best cinematic field storming I've ever seen. So
Yeah.
you actually got to watch this game all the way, or a good bit of it, from if my understanding. So what did you think getting to watch this?
Yeah, I got to watch a pretty good amount of it. Yeah. Oh, I just feel like Florida State just overlooked Virginia, honestly, and then Virginia just took advantage. Um, yeah, Florida State's defense just didn't look good. They I know there was a lot of turnovers in this game. But overall it was just I just feel like Virginia wanted it more. Virginia just kind of had that dog in them, a little bit more. And also too running the ball. Virginia definitely had the edge running the ball compared to Florida State did because Florida State leading rusher was their quarterback. So I think, anytime you can have when your quarterback is your leading rusher, kind of tells you something's not going great with your run game that day. So unless you're an option team, but
Right.
yeah, it was a good game. It was really fun. I agree with you. The field storm was awesome. It was so fun. But
Perfectly timed.
yep, kind of reminded me of when Texas Tech beat Texas in like '08 or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah, it was
Still
great.
have vivid memories of that game.
Yeah,
Such a good game.
it was so fun. But super good game, and I'm very curious to see how Florida State will bounce back this weekend and see if Virginia can take care of business against Louisville this weekend. So
Yeah. And I wanted to shout out Chandler Morris, who was awesome. I did not realize he was that good of a runner, but he
yeah,
looked really good.
it looks very physical.
Yes, which, I mean, this being what is this, his 6th year in college football, makes some sense.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he looked like a 6th-year player out there. He was balling.
Yep. Yeah, threw 3 picks. And
But made up for it.
Tommy threw 2 picks.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was a good game. It was really fun. Yeah. So then turning the clock over to Saturday, Illinois USC. This game was a blast. I don't know how much of this game you got to see, but it was really fun.
Yeah, I didn't get back till I saw I saw the USC touchdown was like the first thing I saw of this game at the very end. So I did get to watch it back. From what I could tell, Illinois controlled most of this game and then tried to give it away at the end. But really good
Yeah.
job by Altmaier managing that drive down. Great kick. Just hard fought game on both sides. Both
Yeah.
teams, I think, are both a little worse than people think, but good win. So for someone who actually got to
Yeah.
watch it, what do you think?
That's kind of what I was trying to that's like what I was thinking during the game. I'm like, okay, is Indiana really good or is USC what I mean by Indiana being really good because Indiana steamrolled Illinois. Is Indiana really, really good or is USC just not great? So I'm still trying to figure out what I think about that because obviously we play USC later this year, so I'm very curious to see. And I know you and I both think that's going to be a shootout.
Mhm.
But dude, this is what I'll tell you about USC. Makai Lemon is a dog.
Mm-hmm. He is really good.
It was crazy. Like, yeah, oh my goodness, his catches were crazy. But yeah, that was Makai Lemon was probably the standout player to me in this game, even though he played for the losing team. But yeah, Illinois tried really hard to give it away. 2 fumbles in the red zone, um, which is just a killer. This game could have been way more out of hand, but Illinois kept it close. And yeah, it was a good game. It was a really good game. Illinois is very methodical in this game overall.
Mhm.
And I think they played the style of game USC does not want to play.
Yeah, they turned
USC,
it into a Big Ten game.
yep. That's exactly what they did. But yep, Allmeyer looked good. Mayava also looked really good. Like both offenses played really well, but it was just, Illinois just took control of the game and they tried to give it away, but they ended up winning. It was a good one.
Yeah, I think the defining stat of this game was Illinois outrushing USC because I think USC came in averaging over 200 yards rushing per game, and they held them to 126, whereas Illinois ran for 171. So I think
Yep.
that's the difference right there, making Mayava do it all himself, which with Lemon they can kind of do. But
It was
yeah,
such an even game.
yeah, I think these are two. Watching them and what they've done this year, I think these are two 7-5, 8-4 teams, and not playoff teams. I definitely think after what I've seen. I
Yeah.
think I think the Indiana game was just a bad matchup for Illinois,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't think.
I'd say the 9-3, 8-4 range.
See,
Yeah.
I think that's true in the old college football. I think these conferences are too stacked now, and I think you drop some games.
I'm curious to see what USC's schedule. So they've got a bye week this week. They've got Michigan at home, at
Loss,
Notre Dame, at
loss,
Nebraska.
loss.
Oh, you think we're beating them?
I do, especially after that Illinois game.
Yeah, I'm seeing 4 more losses well, 3 more. I'm still debating on how I feel about them playing us.
Yeah,
They're
because
gonna
they
lose
play
to,
Oregon late.
they're
So
gonna lose to Notre Dame and they're gonna lose to Oregon.
yeah, Michigan will turn it into a slugfest and win that
Well,
slugfest.
realistically, yeah, they could go 7-5.
Right. And then you look at Illinois,
Illinois has
who
Ohio State left
so that's second loss.
and Washington left. And those are their last 2
I
toughest
forget
games.
I forgot
Ohio
how easy their schedule is.
They've got Ohio State and then at Washington. But then the rest is at Purdue, Rutgers at home, Maryland at home, at Wisconsin, home against Northwestern.
I think they go 8-4. I think it's a loss to Ohio State, a loss at Washington, just because they're so good at home. And
Mm-hmm.
then it's either Rutgers, Maryland, or maybe a interim head coach Wisconsin team gets a win.
Yeah. I
So
think
I
I
don't
don't know.
think this is a 9-3
I
Illinois,
was
but
I know Ohio State's really, really good and their defense is really good, but yeah, I'm curious to see about how Washington will be as we keep going through the rest of the season, like in Big Ten play.
right.
So yeah, that'll be interesting.
So yeah,
But
I think that's what I like. These are two good, close teams.
yep,
I think Illinois is slightly better, but
yep,
I don't think either of them are at the heights that they thought they could be. So
yeah, I agree. Yeah, fun game. All right. The other 11 o'clock game. So I did not get to watch a lot of this game live, but I went back and I watched like, I don't know, a decent chunk of the fourth quarter, maybe like, I don't know, 6 minutes left, something like that. Cincinnati and Kansas, your good old fashioned Big 12 shootout. This was, I went back and watched the full game highlights and stuff. I couldn't watch the full game, but I watched all the highlights.
Mm-hmm.
This was just my kind of football game.
Mm-hmm.
It was awesome. It was so fun to watch. Brendan Sorsby and Jalen Daniels just going at it the whole game, just trading blows back and forth. Cincinnati looks good.
So
And
looking at this,
yeah,
looking at the stats and how this game played out, I don't think this game was that close. Because KU getting 275+ yard touchdowns,
yeah,
both I think to Henderson. I don't. I think that's what kept KU in this game. I think Cincinnati looks really good, and Sorsby looks really, really good.
yeah.
So, I
Yeah, looking at these stats is crazy. Sorsby 388 for 2 touchdowns. Jalen Daniels 4 touchdowns and 445 yards passing.
on 19 completions,
Yeah, that is insane.
16 yards per pass. Disgusting. But yeah, look at that Cincinnati rushing attack. Three people rushed the ball, each of them had over 50 yards, and they totaled 215. It's just that,
Yeah,
yeah, I think this is a really good Cincinnati team that's going to be, and we'll talk about them a little for week 6 because they got a
yeah.
big game coming up too. So I think
Combined
this is a really good Cincinnati team.
combined 1,200 yards in this game of total yards.
Yeah, that's insane.
Crazy. Yeah, this was a fun game. Honestly, may have been one of the more fun games of the week, I would say.
Yeah, up there with the Florida State Virginia game of just pure chaos.
Yep. So, yep, super fun game. And yeah, I'm excited to talk about Cincinnati here in a little bit. All right, next game. LSU Ole Miss. I didn't get to watch a whole lot of this game. I watched a little bit of it. So from what I know, LSU just can't run the ball,
Mm-hmm.
and Ole Miss just came to play, and LSU did not come to play. I didn't know if you got to watch a whole lot of it, so kind of walk me through what you saw from this game, Beck.
Yeah, I watched most of the second half of this game, and the stats say it, but I mean, going into this game, I think I said this last week because I think we talked about it, but going into this game, it was the LSU bad rushing offense versus the Ole Miss bad rushing defense to see how that would play out. And apparently, LSU's just incapable of running the ball, which was part of the difference in this game. But if it kind of felt this way watching it in the second half, like LSU really didn't have a chance in this game. It
Yep,
was close, but Ole Miss was in control. I mean,
yep.
looking at the stats, Ole Miss had 480 yards of offense. LSU had 254. The only
LSU.
reason this was,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
only reason this was close was two Ole Miss turnovers in LSU territory.
Yep. LSU had 57 yards rushing.
Yeah, and you can't win a game in the SEC with 57 yards rushing,
Yep,
especially away.
yep.
But Trinidad looks good.
He does.
Kiffin just goes down the street, finds a guy on a corner, and says, "Hey, you'll play quarterback. You'll work."
Yeah, and it works. Ole Miss had 14 penalties. That's crazy.
Yeah, they tried to lose this game.
Well, they won.
Mm-hmm. Granted, LSU had 7, so
Yeah.
they weren't much better.
If LSU could figure out their run game, man, they'd be pretty good.
Yeah, I think this shows how weak Clemson and Florida are,
Yeah.
with those being the big LSU wins.
Yep. I agree. Anything else on that game?
I will just say, I'm looking to be very wrong on Ole Miss this year.
Yeah.
I had them coming back down to earth this year. I think I am going 5-7. And this team looks a lot better than LSU. And I think LSU is a 7-win team with that defense.
Yeah.
Granted, sounds like Nussmeier's been playing hurt all year, which is part of the problem. But
Yeah.
you can't run the ball.
Yep.
Doesn't help. So this Ole Miss is possible playoff team.
I would say
I don't know about that, but they're in the hunt.
they've got Washington State this week, at Georgia, at Oklahoma, South Carolina, Citadel, Florida, at Mississippi State.
So I would be very surprised if they win either of those two away at Georgia or Oklahoma. But if you don't slip up at home,
yep.
I think it comes down if they make the playoffs to that rivalry at Mississippi State at 10 the season.
That'll be
which is a good team. Yeah. Those are going to be 2 good teams.
Yeah. Because Material will be back by the time they play them. Because they don't play Oklahoma until they don't play them until October.
Mm-hmm. End of the month. So should be. Yeah, it sounds like they're trying to get him back for the Red River, which is next 2 weeks away. Yeah, maybe next week. So he definitely should be back by then.
No, it is 2 weeks away. Red River is 2 weeks away. Yep.
Yeah, I thought they had a bye week. So.
Yep. Cool. Yeah, Ole Miss does look good. Yeah, go ahead if you were going to say something.
No, I was just going to reiterate that it comes down to that Egg Bowl at the end of the year for Ole Miss to make the playoffs, I think, which they could go either way. So
yeah, for sure. Bama, Georgia. This was a game I didn't get to watch a whole lot of live, but I did go back and watch the highlights of because I was too busy watching Oregon, Penn State.
Mm-hmm.
This game I was dead wrong about. I thought Georgia was going to beat them pretty convincingly. Just because of that Florida State game earlier in the year. So I misjudged Bama for sure, just like most people did. And so Bama just looked good. Like Ty Simpson looked really good. Yeah, Bama just looked like they wanted it more. They took control of it really quickly. And yeah, it was just it was just a good game for Bama. They just took control of it from the start and just didn't let up. And from what I saw, it seemed like a pretty boring second half too. Only 7 points scored in the second half. So
yeah. I kind of watched this game. I went back and watched the highlights to rewatch it, but I was playing a game of Civ 6 while having both games on my other 2 screens. So I was kind of watching both these late games, but
there you go.
Oh yeah, living the dream. But I think I did not understand week 1 the Ty Simpson hate. I thought he looked good versus Florida State. Just the rest of the team let him down.
Yeah.
And he came back. I think coming into this game and the game since, he had like 6 incompletions in 3 weeks and
Yeah.
looked clinical versus Georgia.
Yep.
Ty Simpson looks really good, but Alabama still couldn't stop the run, giving up 227 yards to Georgia. But it came down to Gunnar Stockton only 20 passes, 13 to 20 for 130.
Yep.
I don't think he can beat elite teams with his arm. And with, what was it, 13:20 left in the game, Georgia, a wide receiver, dropping a touchdown, which would have given them the lead in the fourth quarter, is ultimately the difference. I think Bama goes down and scores if they have to after that. But
Yep.
it was a close game. Bama always kind of felt like they were in control, though.
Yep. Yeah. No, I didn't really get to watch a whole lot of that Florida State game the first week, so I didn't really get to assess Ty Simpson's highlights that much, but I thought he looked good. I thought he looked kind of like your typical like Bama quarterback. Like from the Nick Saban era. Like
Very McElroy, very Mac Jones,
very pocket passer, Yeah. I looked good. I thought it was a fun game.
Real quick.
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
just looked at the stats real quick, and I need to bring this up. The Caden Proctor 11-yard run.
Where
You
was
see
it?
that? So you see the the tackle,
Oh,
Caden
I did
Proctor.
see that. Yes. Yep.
That
I
was
did.
the nasty. It gave me Sue vibes when it gave me
How did
that
that
the
play go?
Colorado pick.
Did they pass it back to him?
So they lined him up on the line of scrimmage, motioned him out to the far left side of the field, and
Yeah.
it was a backwards pass that he
Yeah.
then took. And if they weren't able to slightly usher him out of bounds, I think he's still running.
That's funny.
It reminded me of every time Sue would get a pick, especially the Colorado
Yeah.
pick. Just big guy with a football who you are not tackling at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, I saw that.
Love that play from DeBoer. Absolutely love it.
Yeah, it was good. So Beck, I forgot to mention to you before we hopped on, but I got to watch a lot of highlights this weekend from this weekend on Tuesday because I was puking on Tuesday. So that is where I saw that on that's where I got to see that play because I went back and watched highlights from the weekend because I had nothing else to do because I was in bed all day. But yes, that's where I got to watch that play. So
Well, it was well worth it.
I made good use of my time.
Yes.
Okay. The big dog. Oregon, Penn State. Unless you had anything else to say about Bama, Georgia.
No.
This game
Really?
was really weird, but go ahead.
Oregon looks really good.
They do look good.
Dante Moore looks really good.
Nothing
Just
insane.
yeah. I mean, it's honestly shocking Penn State was able to claw their way to make this an overtime game, especially
Yep.
after Oregon goes up 17-3.
Yep.
But just the fact that we even have the news this week of Micah, what is it, Hudges? The running back transfer. Hughes, yeah.
Yep.
From that they don't even need him at running back, even though he's coming off of back-to-back 1,000-yard rushing seasons for Tulane. They just don't need him because they have true freshmen and then other guys in that backfield.
Yep.
And really the game comes down to this is Penn State, that the Oregon defense held Penn State to 139 rushing yards, 4 yards per carry, and 42 of that is Drew Aller.
Yeah.
They shut down this Penn State rushing attack. Just honestly shocking as someone who picked Penn State to win it all. They needed this one, and Oregon had a game plan and executed it to perfection.
Yeah, Oregon just played. Yeah, 424 to 276 is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Total yards. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I just don't. I think I was listening to Josh Pate talk about it, but I just don't quite understand why Penn State just can't get their offense going.
It's not the OC because Kolonicki's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, just look at what he did last season with Tyler Warren. So I
Yep.
think part of it's wide receiver, but I think a lot of it's Drew Aller. I think he is capped out. And versus elite teams, I don't think he has the confidence and or arm to hit those tight windows. Granted, I don't think they have the wide receivers to do it. There is no Lemon, there is no Deuce Robinson from Florida State. Those type of guys that are just going to get open for you.
Yeah. If Drew Aller had
If he had the Nebraska wide receiving core,
yeah.
mm-hmm. Like he had Barney running underneath. I think
I hope Drew Aller finds success.
I think he will be a long time NFL backup.
Yeah.
Definitely not the 5-star that.
He's definitely an NFL type quarterback.
Yeah.
Like he's got the build for it.
Mm-hmm. But I don't think he has the starting skill for it.
Yeah.
And I mean, you look at Missouri and Grabula, how good he's been this season.
Yeah.
Penn State make the wrong choice.
Yeah. Penn State, sorry. Dante Moore just looks so good.
He looked, 29 to 39, 248 and 3 tutties, plus 35 more yards on the ground.
Yeah.
That's the best quarterback performance I've seen this year. And I was been watching this one simultaneously with Ty Simpson, who also looked really good. But Dante Moore looked another level.
He just looked like so confident.
Almost that like Deshaun Watson at Clemson. Just they're going to find a way to win the game.
Yeah.
So whether or not he can keep this up, we'll see. But he looked better than Dylan Gabriel ever did.
I would agree. Yep. I agree.
Really
yeah, it was crazy. I'm really glad we do not have to play Oregon this year.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Interesting. I wonder if they're actually going to lose it all this year. But I mean, next game's versus Indiana, but that's at Oregon this next week. And then their last 2 games of the season are USC and at Washington. So it might trip up once, but I don't. Oregon going back-to-back undefeated seasons to start Big Ten.
That would be crazy.
I would never have predicted that. So we'll see.
We will see. Yeah, Oregon looks good. It's really, really good. Anything else from last week to recap on before we move on to this week?
Don't think so.
All right. It was a good week. All right. Coming up, we've got a really, I feel like, kind of underrated week.
I would agree.
It's like kind of just some sneaky games. So let's start with K-State Baylor, our beloved Wildcats. Going to Baylor. K-State got a bounce back win last week against UCF. Baylor has just looked insane offensively. Who do we like in this one, Beck?
I think I gotta go. I mean, the fact that Dylan Edwards, who played his first game last week, is K-State's leading rusher tells you everything you need to know about K-State season so far.
I didn't.
And yeah, granted, he had 179 rushing yards, but still.
That's crazy. I did not realize that.
But yeah, so I've not been entirely impressed with K-State's defense, and I think that's what does them in this game. I think Sawyer Robertson's just able to continue just air raid everything. But I think it's a shootout either way. I think Avery and Dylan being back together in the backfield, I think K-State's able to put up some points, and I don't think Baylor's defense is that good. I mean, they gave up 27 to woeful Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
So I think it's a shootout. I have it 45-42 Baylor. I just think Sawyer's able to do a little more. And I think Baylor's able to get maybe one or two stops more than K-State.
Yeah.
Just disappointing season for K-State so far. This one would be huge.
It'd be a really big win. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I just didn't realize that Sawyer Robinson has 1,700 yards already. That is crazy.
17 touchdowns, 3 interceptions.
Yeah, that is nuts. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I would agree. I think it's going to be a shootout. But I think I'm going to take Baylor to win this one. I just haven't been impressed with K-State yet this year, unfortunately.
I mean, Army's 1-3.
Yeah.
And their
But
losses
yeah. Go ahead.
are to Tarleton State, North Texas, and East Carolina. But their one win is at K-State.
It's not a good look.
And I think they turned the corner last week and Dylan Edwards back, but I think
Dylan
Baylor's
Edwards back is huge.
it is. And they're still only 1-1 in conference. Both these teams are 1-1 in conference. So
Yep.
whoever wins this still in the Big 12 race. So
Yep.
season's not over.
It'll be a fun one. I'm excited.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm glad that one's at 11. And same as another game that I think you and I may think this is game of the week besides the Nebraska game, obviously. Cincinnati, Iowa State. Beck, what are your thoughts on this game? And how is this game ESPN2?
No idea. That's blatant disrespect. Because you have ABC has Georgia, Kentucky, which is a 20-point favorite for Georgia. And ESPN has Clemson at North Carolina, which is maybe the worst ESPN game I've ever seen.
It's not going to be good.
I mean, it might be close, but not because either of these teams is any good.
Yep.
But yeah, Cincinnati, Iowa State is going to be insane. Both teams played last week. Both teams won last week. Iowa State is looking really solid this season at 5-0.
Yep.
And I think this comes down to quarterback play. And I think Sorsby is the better quarterback, at least in this matchup. Which is why I think Cincinnati wins, because I think they have a better offense, and I think their three-headed monster with their two running backs and Sorsby is enough to sneak this out, maybe like 27-24, 27-21 type win, I think.
You don't think it'll be more high scoring than that?
No, because Matt Campbell likes to keep it lower. He likes to hold the ball. I think they're going to make Cincinnati work for it, so it's going to be more time of possession. I mean, Other than last week versus Arizona, Iowa State hasn't scored more than 24 points this season, including at Arkansas State.
Yeah.
So lower scoring, but especially than Cincinnati last week versus KU. But I think Sorsby does enough in this game versus a good Iowa State defense.
Yep. Yeah. I think I'm going to take Cincinnati too. Cincinnati's offense is just so high flying. And I think with it being at home, that'll help Cincinnati too. I think it'll be a juiced up environment. Yeah, I think I'll take Cincinnati to win this one. It'll be super fun. This one is going to be on for me. This will be my pre-Nebraska fixing. So, yeah, that'll be a good one.
Yeah, I think it'll be a really good game.
I don't really see it becoming a blowout either way.
Agreed.
So, all right. Vandy at Bama.
College game day for a Vandy game for the first time in who knows how long.
I'm going to make my prediction very quick. I think Bama by 2 or more touchdowns.
I have written down Bama by 10 plus.
I'm
So
glad you're on the same-ish page.
I think the revenge factor is part of this.
Yep.
I was listening to the Bussin' with the Boys college football show, and they were saying with Josh Pate on there, and he was saying he was in the Bama locker room of the Georgia game after the Georgia win, and 10 minutes after the game, they were like, "Okay, on to Vandy."
Yep.
Because they're ticked at how that game went last year.
Yep.
I think Bama wants to make a statement.
They're not losing again to Vandy.
No. And Pavia's been talking all off season. So I think Vandy's a really good team. I think this is a dangerous Vanderbilt team, and if Bama doesn't show up to play,
Yep.
Vandy could definitely win this game with Pavia.
Yep.
But I think if Vandy did not win this game last year, I think Vandy wins this. But since Bama has a revenge spot, I think Bama pulls this one out.
I agree. Nothing more to be said.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a good game.
I think it'll be close for a little bit. I think it'll be close for a little bit, and then Bama's going to pull away.
Yeah.
So
agreed.
I think it will be like Vandy down by 7 going into halftime, and then Bama just pulls away. All right. Texas at Florida. Quite possibly could be one of the ugliest games of the weekend.
This one's right up my alley. Defensive.
I'm expecting like a 14-10 type of game.
That might be a little high scoring there.
Sorry. Let's go 10-9.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I'm going to take Florida.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Josh Pate. Josh Pate's picking Florida. I'm picking Florida. I just have not been impressed by Texas so far. Nor have I been impressed by Florida. But I think I'm going to take Florida in this one.
So, yeah, what I have written down for this is it's 2 terrible offenses and 2 really good or at least above average defenses. I think they're both 2 good defenses, but I think talent wins. And I think Arch started to figure it out a little bit last game. So I think Arch and really just I don't think Florida figures it out.
Yeah.
So I think a little more talent on Texas. I think Texas pulls this one out.
But you think it's close?
I would not. Yes, I would not be surprised if Florida wins this game.
Yep.
But I think Texas has just enough talent to win this one 16-14, 17-16, something like that.
Tickets are still $90 for this game, which is crazy.
I mean, for Florida, Texas, that's a steal.
No, I was just thinking 1-3 Florida. I just have no clue how Texas is ranked 9th. That is just wild.
Because no one's watched them since Ohio State.
I know. It's just they've beat San Jose State, barely beat UTEP, and then beat Sam Houston.
Who hasn't won a game this year?
Yep.
So yeah,
Yep.
I mean, it's because people in the AP don't actually have any idea what they're talking about, but pretty much everyone's in agreement with that this year. So
Next week for the podcast, Beck, we should do rankings next week.
I'm down. Yeah, we have enough sample size now. I think it's getting that time of season.
Yep. Cool. All right. Next game. Texas Tech, Houston. I think Texas Tech is going to win, but I do think it'll be a close game. Yeah. I think Texas Tech is a really high-powered offense. Houston's not quite there on offense, but they have a good defense. But yeah, I think Texas Tech wins this one.
See, I was really unimpressed with Houston last week at Oregon State, winning that, but it having to go to overtime.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know for sure. I was unable to find if Morton, Tech's quarterback, is back, if he's healthy. But even if he's not, the backup looked really good versus Utah. And I think if they can do that at Utah, they can do more than that at Houston. So
Yeah.
I think the defense smothers them. I think Texas Tech's able to put up 30 points or more. And I think Tech wins this by 14 plus, maybe 3 scores, maybe more. I just think Tech's on 2 levels ahead of Houston.
I wouldn't be mad at it for sure. I just think it's an interesting game just because we got the last 2 undefeateds in the Big 12? Right?
I think so.
Or BYU.
Yes.
And BYU. Yep.
And Iowa State.
Oh, yeah. And Iowa State. Gosh. Man. Well, who does BYU play this weekend? Do they have a bye week?
No, they're playing tomorrow. They host West Virginia, so they should win that. I mean, they're favored by 20, so
They definitely should win that game. 9:30 kickoff. That's crazy. I will probably be asleep at that point.
Yeah. I just don't think Houston's played anyone. That's what I just have no faith in Colorado, which is maybe their best win this year, because Oregon State hasn't won a game yet this year. They've played a hard schedule, but
yeah.
And
yeah. Houston hasn't looked great, but I do think they're a solid team.
I think they're solid. 6, 7, 8 win team, but I think Tech is possibly, and I know this might be blasphemous, but a title contender in the college football playoff with how good they look versus Utah.
I need to watch them play a game because I really haven't got to watch them a whole lot.
Yeah.
And Tech also played at Oregon State and beat them 45-14.
Exactly. Well, that one was at home, and Houston went to Oregon State, but still.
Yeah.
Back-to-back weeks, basically. No, there was bye week between those, but still, Tech handle them.
Yep. All right. And then last game before we move on to upset picks and a little Nebraska talk. Miami, Florida State. What do we think about this one? Because I'm still debating how I feel about this one.
This one's probably the one this week that I thought about the most. And I think this game. So, yeah, it comes down to this. I think Miami's the better team, but I don't think anyone's going undefeated this year except maybe Oregon.
Yep.
So I think Miami's going to drop a game at some point this season, and I think that Malzahn has a plan for this Miami defense, and I think Florida State pulls this one out at home. I think I think last week they were looking ahead to this game, maybe even working on stuff in practice, which is why they lost. So they're extra motivated because they're coming off a loss. And I don't know if Carson Beck throws a few picks or what needs to happen, but I think Malzahn coaches up an insane offense, and I think Florida State pulls this one off at home in a classic.
Okay. I'm going opposite of you, Beck.
Okay.
I like this Miami team too much. Defense has been disruptive. Offenses look solid. I'm going to go Miami by a touchdown or more. Yeah, I'm going to say no more than 10, but I think they win by like a touchdown. I think they win by a touchdown. So, yep, I think that's what I'm gonna stick with. But I am curious though. Both quarterbacks have thrown 3 picks, so they're a little turnover prone. So I am curious about that though. I wonder if Tony White's going to gear up the pressure a little bit and try to confuse Carson Beck.
Yeah, I think he's able to do some damage. Plus, I think it really has to come down to Deuce Robinson having a massive game for Florida State, and he's really good and could do it.
Yeah.
So got to test out that Miami secondary, see if they're really good or if they still have some holes from last year.
Yep. Absolutely. This will be a good one though. I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, I think this is the most high-profile matchup of the week, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. That one or Bama and Vandy, but I think this one beats that one.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. It'll be good. Who is your upset pick for the week?
So I'm coming off of an upset pick win. And actually, let me look real quick at what my one was 2 podcasts ago. See if I have that. I got that one wrong. So coming off of one upset pick win in a row, getting Cal over Boston College. But I have one I'm really confident in this week. I think Maryland continues to be Maryland, winning way too many games to start the season to get everyone hyped about them. And I think they beat Washington because A, Maryland's coming off of a bye, and B, Washington is coming across the country, which they were horrible at last year, going 0-5 on the road. And this is the first time that they've been outside the state of Washington this year. And yeah, I just don't think going all the way from West to East Coast will be good for them. I think Washington's the better team, but I think they lose to this one at Maryland.
Well, this is awkward because that was my upset pick too. So I'm gonna have to go with my backup.
I was wondering.
Hey, I'm with you on that one though. I'm with you. I think Maryland's gonna get the win.
Yeah, it surprises me this one's at 6.5, which
so,
I think it started at 5.5 and is now 6.5 on the betting line.
And so Nebraska's gonna have to go in and play undefeated Maryland next week.
Yeah, which I don't think will be too big of a problem. I think it'll be good for us to not underestimate them.
All right. Well, My backup plan was Florida, Texas. I think Florida's my upset pick for the week. Texas is favored by 4.5, so I'm going Florida. Florida's my upset pick.
Okay. And I'll give you one more fun one also, because my backup was Wake Forest going to Virginia Tech. Wake Forest getting, I don't know if you've seen the clip going around social media on Wake Forest getting screwed
I heard about
last
this.
week.
Yes.
And I think I was impressed. I watched him play NC State on a few Thursdays back. Wake looks like a pretty decent team this year, and Virginia Tech with their interim head coach. They've won twice since firing their head coach, but I don't think it holds for another week. So I think Wake goes into Blacksburg and gets a win as my bonus upset pick.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. I think Wake Forest does look good.
they got some explosive weapons on that team.
Yeah. Yeah. I couldn't think of really any other ones.
I mean, the one I want to happen is Boise State at Notre Dame, but I don't know if that's game.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome. I kind of thought about picking Syracuse did me dirty last week because they were my upset pick, but I kind of thought about picking Syracuse at SMU.
Yeah, and they need a comeback after getting blown out by Duke. So
Yep.
Fran Brown will have them up for it. I think it'll be closer than the 17.5 line, but I don't know if they can beat him.
Yeah. I'd also kind of like to see UCF beat Kansas.
That'd be interesting. I'm still not sure how good Scotty's team is this year.
Yeah, they're kind of a mixed bag so far to me.
Who did they play? I mean, their big win is blowing out North Carolina, but is that impressive?
No.
I don't think so. I mean, if Clemson blows out North Carolina this week, we'll know for sure it's not impressive. So
I'm actually kind of interested in that Clemson North Carolina game.
I'm definitely interested in it to see who's worse.
I think Clemson's going to destroy them.
I think they could. And if so, if Steve Belichick even makes it a year.
So, yeah. Cool. Okay, well, I'm going Florida as my upset pick. I think Florida's going to win. Yep. Cool. All right. For those of you who do not care about Nebraska football, turn off the podcast. So I was talking to my dad earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Not expect coming into the season that Michigan State was going to be our must-win game of the year. Because this is how this game feels to me. If we don't win this game, it just screams not good season coming up if we don't win this game.
Yeah, the Nebraska of the 21st century finds a way to lose this game. Or at least of the 2010s.
I think Nebraska is going to win. What do you think?
So, first thing I wrote down looking at this game was like a 38-34 game. And then I looked more into it, and I don't think this game's going to be close. I think Nebraska wins this one handily because I think our pass defense absolutely smothers the Michigan State pass game, making Childs have to run the ball, and I think we actually tackle this week in the secondary because I think they worked a lot on that. Because I don't think Michigan State hasn't held anyone under 35.
Their lowest score was they held Western Michigan to 6.
Yeah, but in their other 3 games, they gave up 40 to Boston College, they gave up 45 to USC, and they gave up 24 to Youngstown State.
Yep.
So I think we're scoring 30, and I think our defense is good enough to hold them. So I have this game at 34-16. I think we are relaxed in the fourth quarter. I think we run the ball. I think we have more than just Emmett running the ball. And I don't think Dylan has any troubles throwing it.
I said 35-21 Nebraska.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
A little more confident score than what you were saying.
yes. But I do think this is a must win.
I would agree.
Very much a must win. So, but I'm going Nebraska confidently that we're going to win this week. I'm still nervous. That doesn't mean I'm not nervous, but I do think we're gonna win handedly this week. I think though this has kind of been, I don't know if you agree. I feel like this has kind of been the big talk of the bye week. Who's our number 2 running back coming into this week? I think it's Ives.
I think it's my boy Ives. I don't think it's close. Unless, I mean, we really haven't seen Nelson a lot because the one game he would have played, he got suspended for.
He had one good run against Michigan, but I think that was his only carry of the game.
Nah, he had more than that. He had a few carries and he was decent. But yeah, I don't think, because let me waffle for a little bit. Yeah, he had 3 carries for 19 yards. He had 6 yards a carry.
Yeah. One of the carries was like 14 yards.
11, yeah.
Okay, 11. But yeah. And here's the other thing too. I feel like Ives is like the bruiser back.
Mm-hmm. We need someone to go run over some people. And that's always been Ives.
He's 6'3", 215.
So not Dowdell. Ives can actually go sideways, which Dowdell still hasn't learned. But
Ives doesn't look insanely fast, I will say.
He's not slow either, though. Like,
yeah.
he's not quick. I think he's fast if you get him out in the open field, but I don't think he's quick. I don't think he's twitchy like him.
No, he's not twitchy. That's a good way to put it. Yeah, I think it's Ives as the number 2. And then who are our starting tackles, Beck?
I think that's been the real talk. I
think Pritchett's going to start left.
I think they give him a game, or at least the first half. But I swear, if he false starts on the first drive of the game, it's not that hard.
I know. I think Pritchett's going to start left, and then I don't think you take Teddy out of right tackle.
Even though I think if I remember, no, it was left tackle was more the issue. I was trying to remember.
It was both tackles.
It was both, but I think it was mostly from the left.
More of the issue. Left was more the issue. I heard from Husker Online, I think there was maybe talk that Corcoran could try to start at right tackle.
I wouldn't hate it. I mean, it definitely needs fixed. I don't think Michigan State's going to – I mean, they only have 6 sacks this year.
Yeah.
Granted, we're not much better. I mean, we're not better.
We have 4 or 5 maybe?
We also have 6.
Okay. So I think we just need to find our 5 and just stick with it.
Yeah, and I think this is the last time we can mess with it.
Yep.
But I think Pritchett gets the start, but if he false starts more than once, I think he's done. Because from what I hear from the guys who actually talk to people who watch practice is he's a unit. But if you're false starting on the 1 yard line and costing us 7 points versus Cincinnati,
Yep,
it's like, come on, man.
I know. Yeah,
Every time.
I think overall though we come out very angry this week,
Mm.
and I think we just kind of dominate the game.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think we'll be nervous in the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
I think TJ Lateef might see some minutes.
really.
Mm-hmm. I think like some of that late points might be Michigan State versus the second team.
Yeah, I'm not quite there with you, but I think it'll be like 35, not 35. I'm thinking it'll be like 28-14 going into the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I'm looking at like 27-10, something like that.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think we had a really fun game. I always love when we play Michigan State. They're like my favorite team that we play in the Big Ten, honestly. I
Yeah.
just feel like I never have like super hard feelings against Michigan State.
I mean, I didn't used to, but then Michael happened, so.
Michael played with Michigan State on our dynasty, and he just was an absolute unit with Michigan State. So that's where a little bit of that hate comes from. But, yep. But
yeah, I always appreciate Sparty.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, it'll be a good game. I'm glad we're kind of on the same page with that one. Makes me feel a little better. And I liked what you said. I think you said this last week that we played a really bad game against Michigan and almost won.
Mm-hmm.
And so, if we play up to our potential, we can beat a good number of teams. So,
yeah, and I mean, just the fact that we're giving up 76 yards passing per game right now.
we have the number 1 pass defense in the country right now.
Is it actually in the country?
Yeah. We have not given up a pass of more than 20 yards.
We are the only team in the country that is giving up less than 100.
Yep. We are the only team in the country that's not given up a pass of more than 20 yards.
Part of that's who we played. I mean, Cincinnati and Michigan, the two tough teams, are both run-first teams. And we're giving up 170 per game. But overall, where are we in the Big Ten?
But
Yeah,
I don't know. Like I will say though, like Sorsby has been airing it out though.
True. And we shut him down. But so it'll be interesting to see because it sounds like who's the safety who had the pick?
Hartzog?
Who's it going to be out? Yeah, Hartzog might be out again this game. So
Yeah, that's what I heard.
have to move people around still to cover for that. But
And did you hear that Demetrius Bell got hurt again?
yeah, but that sounds like it's just a tweak.
Yep.
So sounds like hopefully we'll have him the second half of the season, which would be very nice.
We held Bryce Underwood to less passing yards than Oklahoma did. Oklahoma gave it more.
They didn't have to pass the ball versus us, but
I don't know. I'm saying number 1 pass defense is pretty crazy.
it is. It's not an accident.
We'll see how that holds up against USC and people like that. So, but if you think about it, we really don't play a passing team until USC.
Mm.
I don't know what Maryland's offense is quite like.
That's what I was just gonna check. Maryland, they're definitely passing. 208 passing, 92 rushing. Or no, that's defense. Hold on. Offensively, yeah, 265 in the air, 102 on the ground. So they're definitely passing with their true freshman quarterback.
Yep.
Which I think we can rattle. So even though he's looked good.
I'm nervous for that one.
I'm not too worried. I mean, he looked good versus Wisconsin, but
they haven't really played anybody. I'm very curious to see how they look against Washington this week.
Yeah, if they blow them out, we might be in trouble. But I think it'll be close.
Yeah.
And
we'll have to see.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, me too.
I have not been this confident going into a conference game in a while.
I would agree.
Which is more this team than our opponent, which is nice.
Yeah. I believe in the culture.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. All right. Beck, good stuff. This was a fun one. We went pretty long on this one, I feel like. A little over an hour, I think.
Yeah, we did. And then next week we'll have the CFE poll, and it'll be even longer.
We're going to collaborate, or we're going to do our separate ones?
We'll have to decide whether I'm thinking we either do our separate ones or we both do separate, and then one of us combines them, and then the other person finds out as one says them.
You can do the JP poll. You can do the PV poll and the ZB poll.
Yeah.
There we go.
So the only true polls.
Ah, yes. The only true polls. But awesome, Beck. This was super fun. Yeah, we'll be back next week to discuss hopefully a good Nebraska win and a good week of college football. So until next time, have a great weekend.
Go Big Red.
Go Big Red.